Great.
Perfect.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 11 of Practical Nonsense Podcast. Delightfully palindromic episode. We are united once again at time of recording the day before Thanksgiving, here to give thanks for not being dead yet. Unless that's what we want, in which case
Not
we're here
yet.
to be upset about the fact that we're not dead yet.
Pray. Pray for death. But death will not come.
Josh, I'm gonna let you go first so you can get your most of your talking out of the way, so you can take a break. But also mostly because I know what Danny's been doing this past couple weeks.
Okay.
So.
For the past week. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
like I've had work stuff,
You don't know.
but since the last time we talked, I have changed. I'm working at a Best Buy now. That's
Oh,
been
really?
fun. Yeah. Apparently I didn't bring that up. I think I was working there. Well, or I was in the process of transitioning there, but apparently I just didn't say anything about it. I
No.
don't say stuff sometimes.
Now, when you say that's fun, obviously that's at least somewhat sarcastic because nothing in customer service is fun. But
Yeah.
do you enjoy it more, like actually?
Uh, Not really. I enjoy
I,
I enjoy getting paid $15 an hour more.
I bet.
That's
yeah,
like a
cost-benefit
150%.
analysis.
Yeah.
What
But
were you
as
getting paid
far
at the
as
pet store?
I was only getting paid like 10, I think maybe 10.25. I think I started at 10, and then over the 2
Fuck,
years
that's still that bad.
the 2 years that I was working there, they gave me a 25-cent pay increase.
Now that is bad.
Yeah, so
Maybe that is, and I don't know. I
Well,
just feel like jobs should pay more.
jobs should pay more.
I started at Domino's at $9.50, and then the pandemic happened, and throughout like the 9 months of the pandemic, I'm now making $11. They just keep deciding to give me more money, and I keep obviously saying yes.
I'm really thinking about becoming a manager one just to get a little bit more money since my days are cut.
And like
I don't even know. I don't even know if I can do that because of my schedule, which sucks.
that was kind of what led me to leave Pet Supermarket. I enjoyed working there, I enjoyed the people, but the pandemic just kind of threw everything into pandemonium, and so I wasn't going to be able to get more hours there, and I wasn't really going to be able to get a promotion there, and like turnover and stuff being what it was. I just kind of had to. It got to the point where it was a dead end, so I had to move on. And a friend of mine who used to work there who quit, and he's working at the Target next door. I haven't seen him, but he came into the store one day and was like, "Yeah, everything in that little shopping center area, like everything there pays $15 an hour to start." And so I applied to Best Buy. They called me like the day I applied. And now I am working there. And I don't know how much of it is I just don't enjoy the job versus I'm new, and it's the Christmas season right now, so everything's busy.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird going from a job where I knew how to do everything to a job where I don't know.
That's well.
People-
Sorry, go ahead.
Dog food is infinitely less complex than TVs and computers. Like, it's like people are speaking a different language. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know anything about car stereos. I have gotten asked more questions about car stereos. I didn't think I would ever be asked a question about a car stereo in my entire life.
I don't know why.
I guess I've been living my life up to this point with the sole objective of not being asked a question about a car stereo, because I don't fucking care, and I don't know.
I don't know why, but I would have never ever thought to go to Best Buy to get a car stereo. It makes so much sense now that you've said it, but I would have never thought to do that.
I will
Like
say
when I
this: the
think
like
Best
car
Buy, I'm
stereos.
like TVs.
Yeah, no, but like the car stereo section at the Best Buy is pretty cool. It's buried like in the back of the store, but it's like a wall of stereos set up on the wall, and it's pretty cool.
Is
I
it
don't know what goes on there. I
is
don't
it
have a
buried in the
desire to
back
know.
of the store because there's a bunch of like demo features and it's probably really fucking annoying, or
S- So you would think yes that was the case, but it's buried on a wall in the very back, and yeah, there are like demo features, and so I would say that was the reason why it would be buried back there, but the like radios and non-car stereos, they're all like right at the front of the store, right next to the customer help desk. So when I'm working customer help, it's that's one thing I don't like about the job right now is it's such sensory overload because I've got my earpiece in and people are asking questions through my earpiece and I'm trying to do like customer service stuff, and then somebody will hit uh, try to sample one of the stereos, and it's like right next to the customer service desk, and there's only like 3 songs that play, but they like
uh,
belts out over the store. I think one of them is a Miley Cyrus song.
not in my head like no.
Not in my head, like, yeah. And yeah, so that aspect of it I don't like. So I don't know why the car stereos are buried over in the back of the store. You would think that's a smart reason to bury them back there, but then if you were doing that, then you wouldn't put the stereos right next to the front.
I always thought that, like, I figured that's why, like, at Walmart, like, automotive is always in the back of the store, and that's where you're gonna find the car stereos.
Well, until apparently before COVID hit, we did have like a installation bay where they would um, it was like a garage where they would install like car stereos and stuff. But that closed down when the pandemic hit, and I don't think they're going to reopen it. They don't have any plans to reopen it at the moment.
Right.
So that area is just kind of like an extra warehouse right now. But it is close to the car stereos, so that would be a good reason why they put that back there. But I don't know.
I don't know. Like I said, I would have never in my life thought to go to Best Buy to A, buy a car stereo, B, much less get one installed. That's fucking mind blowing.
Hmm.
I'm sad that I both learned of its existence and that it has been taken away from me all in the same time. Thanks, 2020.
Yep.
So
I mean, you can still buy the car stereo from us. We just won't install it. You have to go
just
to a
won't
different
install it,
Best Buy
right?
who has their Car-Fi is still open, and they'll install it.
right.
Or you can install it yourself.
Let's
Well, if I know Indiana, we have one near Hobart. So if you're really fucking dying to get your car stereo installed at a Best Buy, don't come here. Put a bullet in your head.
if
It's
you're
the
looking
sa-
if
the-
you're looking to
the
get your
effect
car
is the same.
stereo if you're looking to get your car stereo stolen though,
Then Hobart, Indiana is where it's at.
that's where yeah, absolutely. He's not even gonna protest it. He knows.
Why would I protest it when I avidly said don't fucking come here? It's... Do you have diarrhea brain?
But to shift to a lighter note, what I've been doing for fun, at least in the past week, is I've been playing Spider-Man Miles Morales on my brand new PlayStation 5, boys.
Okay, I gotta get this out of the way. Josh, do you feel like you have the exaggerated swagger of a black teen now?
I feel so much like I have the exaggerated swagger of a black teen. You could feel it coursing through your veins. It's like in Infinity War when Thanos gets when the screen starts up, you feel it. Yeah, it flows through you. But also that last part about the PlayStation 5 was a lie. I have no PlayStation 5. I've been playing it on my PlayStation 4 like a peasant. And
Oh,
I've
it
been
released for PS4 as well.
That's okay.
Yeah. So the PlayStation 4 version, as long as I understand this correctly, the PlayStation 4 version will work on the PlayStation 5. Like you can, if you put the disc in the PlayStation 5, it'll upgrade it to the PlayStation 5 version.
Yeah,
So
no,
I'm
that's that. It is
I
my
know.
understanding that that's the case as well. I don't know if that's exactly how it works. I hope that's how it works.
I
That'd be
know.
sick.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's like the functions for like 4K or whatever the fuck it is. All the special graphical upgrades are on the disc, but they're only you can only activate them with the processing power of the PS5. But what I'm picturing is you take your PS4 disc and put it in the PS5, and there's like a bunch of like blinking lights and whirring noises and beeps and shit, and then it comes back out as a PS5 disc.
No, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. And if that doesn't happen, I'm gonna be really upset. But no, I have been experiencing the exaggerated swagger of a black teen over the past week. Um,
So have I, but that's only because
and
Travis has ordered every single day. He's a nice
but
kid,
yeah,
though.
nice kid. But yeah, it's fun. It's a good game.
That's good.
So-
That is good.
Yeah.
So-
It's
Go ahead.
it's not. It really isn't Spider-Man 2 though. Is the thing. I don't know if you've heard about that. It's very much a.
That's what I've heard. I have a friend, Chris, who lives. I think he lives in Illinois.
Mhm.
But he picked up one, and he was saying that it doesn't feel like Spider-Man 2. It feels like its own thing while still preserving everything you loved about the original game.
Yeah, I have some complaints,
Sure.
but I don't even know if I want to like. I still think the first Spider-Man is a better game overall. It just feels like more of a complete package. Um, and also, combat feels. It doesn't feel as open anymore. Everything feels really close, and the camera's like really close behind Miles all the time.
Right.
It just feels kind of more limited than Spider-Man
Than the original.
than the original did. Yeah, but like I said, it's still a really good game. If you liked Spider-Man 1, you'll probably like this one, but it's very much it feels like a weird like expansion slash DLC thing, but it doesn't really build off of any of the dead ends
Anything that happened in the first game. It is its own like contained.
Yeah, in fact, I don't want to spoil anything, but well, here I go. In fact, it's so much not a sequel or like it doesn't follow off of any of the like big setups from the end of Spider-Man 1 that the post-credits scene in this game is the exact same post-credits scene from Spider-Man 1 but shot from a different angle. I don't know if you know what happens in Spider-Man 1's post-credits scene.
I mean, I've played it, so yes, I do. But like right now, off the top of my head, I don't remember it at all.
Okay, well, I'm gonna spoil that. So
this is Spider-Man
yeah, if you haven't,
spoilers for
Don't.
anybody who cares. Stop listening for like
So,
I don't know, a minute.
at the end of Spider-Man 1, Norman Osborn goes into his Oscorp science shed, and
yes,
Harry Osborn is Venom now.
Yes, he has the symbiote on him.
He has the symbiosis on him. Yeah. And it's the exact same scene. It's just in Miles Morales when you beat the game and you do the credits. Harry Osborn goes back into the room, or Norman Osborn goes back into the room, and he's like, "What's taking so long?" But Kirk Connors is there too, so I'm excited about that this time. In this version of it, Kirk Connors is there, so that means the Lizard's going to be in something that's potentially good. For once.
Um, I was not expecting any like sequel material from Miles Morales. When they announced it, they kind of said, if memory serves, I guess I could just be talking a load of bollocks right now, but I'm pretty sure they said that like this is going to be like its own thing. It has its own, like, this isn't the sequel yet. It's just kind of like an in-betweener.
I do remember there was some confusion about that, like when it was first announced, whether it was just an expansion or if it was a sequel, and they said no, it's its own game.
I know
And
I was turbo fucking confused, but that was mostly because I didn't care. Like, I had... There was no reason for me to follow it very closely, so, like, I remember that one Spider-Man game for the PS4, what everyone was so excited about, and then like this.
It's really good. You should play it.
And then Miles Morales was a thing, and I was like, "Hang on, what? Give me the Ouija board. I gotta ask Stanley what the fuck's going on."
It's really good. You should play it.
They made a different Spider-Man game. They made the Spider-Man game that they made last time, but they made another one. What do you have to ask Stanley about?
Lots, but I'm gonna start there.
I would just skip to your next question. I pretty much answered that one for you.
Hey,
It's just a waste of a question at that point.
Don't ask me why, but the entire time you
he only answers 3 of them.
Listen, shove your monkey paw back up your ass really quick. The entire time you guys were talking, I reached into the deep recesses of my memory and somehow pulled out a fucking old commercial that somehow encompasses both of the things that we have just talked about.
It better be the... Yeah, okay. There we go. I was fixing to say, it better be that commercial where that Best Guy Spider-Man... Yep. What a great segue.
I fucking love that commercial.
That's been my weekend.
This is a fucking great commercial, by the way.
They should bring that guy back. They should have brought him back for an ad campaign for this game.
Oh,
he's got to still be out there.
There's like something with that first Spider-Man game, right? Where they released it, and then there was like a small controversy, and they had to like pull some versions of it or whatever, because at the end of the first Spider-Man movie game, Spider-Man kisses Mary Jane. Fucking spoilers, whatever. But there's a cheat to where you can also play as Mary Jane. So people found this unintentional lesbian scene, and parents got real upsetty spaghetti.
I do remember that. I remember hearing about that.
Which
what
I
a
think
weird
is
time.
preposterous, but also hilarious.
It's so weird to think about. What a different time 2002? 2001 was?
2001, I believe.
Was that before the hot coffee controversy?
Way before, yeah.
Before
Spider-Man 1 came out on
around
PS1.
No,
It was
before,
the same
but it wasn't,
era.
It was the same era. It wasn't long after that, because San Andreas came out in 2004. Yeah?
That's weird.
2003?
That's weird that they had to pull copies.
This
isn't even me trying to be an asshole right now. I was just legitimately under the impression that everybody was cool with lesbians, like across the board.
Not in 2001.
Yeah, not in 2001.
2001.
Still not now, realistically.
Yeah, I mean, but 2001 was full force video games are corrupting our youth era too, so.
Not Sam Andreas, you son of a bitch.
Yep.
Not real life release date. Google. I will search what I want.
San Andreas real life.
Real life.
So
it's just gonna take me to the fucking.
And now for that time of the show where Josh gets really quiet for some reason.
It was 2004.
Okay, I guess, and I thought he just like unplugged his mic or yeeted his mic or something. So, me and Danny and Josh, this is a game. It's technically on sale right now, but it's only like 10% off. But this is a game you absolutely need to get because it's way too much fucking fun, more fun than it has any right to be. Me and Danny have spent the past 2 weeks playing Phasmophobia, and it is great. Take it away, Danny. Hit him with the sales pitch.
Phasmophobia is... So, you're familiar with Ghost Adventures, I assume. And it's like Ghost Adventures, but there are real-life consequences. If you take too long, if you fuck around, whatever...
If you kick the door open and call the ghost a silly bitch...
Any one of these things, more or less, will earn you death.
And
sorry, I'm actually dying right now. Hold on. Okay, no, we're good.
Despite putting like, I know Danny's put more hours into it than I have, but despite putting like 20 hours into it and hunting all these ghosts with Danny, it still finds a way to fucking terrify me.
It's yeah, no, because the unique thing about Phasmophobia is the almost like
roguelike?
Yeah, I was gonna say it pretty much is just a roguelike.
I mean, if we treat the fucking houses and stuff as like the actual houses aren't RNG, but like the type of ghost and where it is RNG. So if we treat them as dungeons, then yeah, technically.
But it just has that kind of thing. Like, yeah, the locations are always the same, but what ghost you're dealing with, what evidence is there, what things are in the house, what additional tools that you can't buy but you can use, like the voodoo dolls or the Ouija board. That's different every time.
I was gonna say, technically, you could argue that it's got a permadeath element too, because if you die, you have to buy all your shit back. If you brought it with you, you will lose it.
Everything about Phasmophobia, like, it's...
the proximity chat, that's wild.
Yeah, Phasmophobia has all of these elements which by themselves are by no means unique, but when you put them all together in the way that Phasmophobia has done in hunting ghosts with your friends or just some random fucking people, whatever, it is a goddamn blast and also terrifying every time because it is a unique situation every time.
Yeah.
Even if you get 5 demons in a row, they're not going to all behave the same.
No, they won't. And because like there have been times where like we'll enter an area and then just like immediately there's activity and just like bam, 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 we have all our evidence and then we're just out. And then we'll enter an area and like nothing will happen and then we're like, okay, what the fuck's going on?
On the same difficulty too, for anybody who listens to this and is familiar with Phasmophobia, we will play consistent houses, like consistent difficulties. Like we'll do a bunch of amateurs or like a bunch of intermediates or whatever in a row, and it's all unique to them.
Yeah, like there have been times where like we'll have like activity, and the ghosts will enter hunting mode and try to kill us, but we'll never get anything that we can like mark down as evidence to like figure out what it is. It just fucks with us the whole time. There have been like a couple of instances where me and Danny have just given up. Because we were like, man, sure. I can't figure out what this thing is, and we're gonna die.
This is absolutely not to this game's credit. In fact, it's to this game's fault. But there was one time where it was giving us only 2 options, and then the ghost ended up being a completely fucking different thing.
But
now the game is still in early access, and it does have its faults, and that sounds... What I just described sounds fucking infuriating, and it was. But the good news is shit like that is like almost not to be seen.
Yeah, that happened like one time out of like easily like 40 runs. And truth be told, it easily could have been something that one of us fucked up. We could have thought we had evidence that we didn't actually have.
I suppose that's true, but I remember that night being, we had the first two, like, confirmed, pictures and all, and the last piece of evidence that we had to find pointed to one of two ghosts, and it was neither.
Right.
Which, yes, it could have been a flaw on our part, but I don't... like, I remember combing, like, every piece of that house, every single thing that we could have done, and the game went... It's a fucking radish when it was an onion the whole time.
Right. But I've actually been thinking about something. I meant to say this yesterday, but I never brought it up. So, pretty much the entire premise of Phasmophobia is you're going in to find evidence of paranormal activity, of the ghost, and figure out what kind of ghost it is. Quote, for the ghost removal team. And I think it would be fucking wild if... I know I've said that to you, Danny, that I thought it would be cool if they added a separate mode, but like if instead of ghosts, it was like you're hunting cryptids or whatever. But I think it would be equally cool and still fit within the theme of the game if you had the ghost hunting jobs and then now you've got ghost removal jobs. That would be cool.
So you want to play as... So you want to play...
I want to be the
Hold
Ghostbusters.
on. No. I've got a game for you. Hold on.
I bet you don't.
I have the game for you. It's exactly what you're describing.
Well, I'm waiting. And while I'm waiting, another...
Here you go.
No.
They remastered this game not too long ago either. Which, if you've never, I'm being serious now. If you've never played the Ghostbusters video game that came out in 2010, and then they just remastered it not too long ago, please do so. It is the true Ghostbusters 3. You get to fight alongside your favorite Busters. I don't know. Everything about that Ghostbusters video game is just so charming to me. Because I fucking love the first two movies, man.
Sometimes it's really hard to tell with you because you're too good at it. You're being sarcastic, right?
In this instance, I'm not. And it actually does feel like I was being sarcastic when I was like, I have the game for you because it's just Ghostbusters, haha. But there is an element of, like, capturing ghosts and getting money for it and buying upgrades there to make catching ghosts easier. And there are levels in Ghostbusters where there are actual, like, elements of horror. Like, just investigating around, just trying to find where a fucking ghost is located, or there's spoilers, I guess, but there's like a sequence later in the game where you have to use like the PKE meter and like some spectral like goggles to navigate like a kind of like a maze in like this library. And just sequences like that make the whole game super charming. The dialogue and story feels just right where you picked up or left off from Ghostbusters 2 in the best possible way. Without feeling tired or just a rehash of more of the same. It has enough different, I believe, from those first two movies to be its own thing and be one of the very rare instances of a licensed video game that actually kicks ass.
Well then. Another game that we played that's actually super cool, and now that I have gotten to play as on both sides of the veil, so to speak, is way more fucking balanced than I thought it would be. In Silence is another super fun, absolutely fucking horrifying beyond all belief game.
Yes, it is. I do believe we
everybody
talked
should
about
try.
that last time.
We might have. I don't remember.
We did. I can see the first 2 pictures from the episode 10 logs.
You
Are
know
Dead
what?
Silence, but we've played it. We've played it more since then, and actually have. I don't remember what we said about it last
accidentally
time, but it's
completed one of the endings. Because there's one where you like escape, and then there's one where you like kill the rake, and we completed the one where we escape, which I was surprised that we did because I didn't expect us to be able to do that.
No, it was real rough. It was also really cool though because the only interaction me and Jacob had with each other for like 20 minutes was we started the game and we each whispered good luck to each other, and then just for 20 minutes just ran around hoping we didn't die. Getting all of these.
Oh, that
getting all
sure
these
is
car
something.
parts.
Yeah,
Yeah, this guy knows what we're talking about.
Yep.
Oh,
I've
that-
been here listening for the entire time.
Well, in case you weren't, by Phasmophobia.
By Phasmophobia.
We just gave it a glowing
by
review.
Ghostbusters. And also by In Silence, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, also, there's another game that I saw that has mixed reviews and is honestly probably not good, but it's supposed to be another multiplayer horror game, and it's 49 cents right now, so I think we should get it and try it. It's called Last Year. It looks like somebody
Oh, I've
wanted
seen-
to make the Friday the 13th game,
I've
But
seen
it-
last year. It looks pretty cool.
but it doesn't look like no effort was put into it. It just looks like, I don't know.
It looks pretty cool. I've seen it played.
49 cents sounds like the right price,
do
though,
I-
so I think we should buy it since it's on the autumn sale.
I've heard of this game, I think.
With fucking In Silence and Phasmophobia and fucking, I don't know, with like a lot of games recently, fucking Resident Evil Resistance to some degree, I've got like this fucking co-op horror game itch that I can't seem to scratch no matter what.
Oh.
So-
Do you
Like, every
have
time-
Do you have Resident Evil the Resident Evil Resistance game?
Nope, but I played it.
Oh,
But-
okay. Because I own it. I own RE3 on my PC, and I haven't played it, so I thought if you had it.
I was thinking about picking up RE3 today.
I mean,
It's
it's
on
on
sale right
It's on
now.
sale, so I don't know, I could take a look at it. But no, I've got because I like. So there's In Silence, there's Phasmophobia, there's bad ones that I have on my Steam list that I still have fun with because I enjoy bad video games like The Goatman and Rake, and then there's fucking Bigfoot that nobody else will buy and play with me. God damn it!
That's not
I
a
buy
bad
games to
game,
play with you
it's
guys,
just-
and then you don't play them with me. I've got
What?
like Stick Fight and all these games.
Well, okay. To be fair to all of us, we buy these games, and then when we try to set something up to play, 9 times out of 10, I feel like everybody shits the bed.
Yeah, no, I didn't say that it wasn't my fault. I'm just saying, at least partially.
I'm gonna write down. I'm gonna make
It's-
after we wrap up. I'm gonna make a list of the games that we three have, and we're gonna fucking go through them, and we're gonna
To be
play 'em,
fair,
by
I have-
God.
To be fair, I have I have too many games on my Steam library. I have games I didn't even know I had. I think I've bought games for the PlayStation 4 that I already had on my Steam because I didn't know I had them. I have like all of Dead Rising. I have all of the Deus Ex games.
Oh, that's fine. I've bought games on Steam that I have knowingly had on another system.
Did they ever fix Batman Arkham Knight on Steam?
I don't think
I
so.
checked.
Not that I know of.
Okay, well, I got the Arkham collection for like $10, and I'm just now realizing that I have it. So I got Arkham Asylum and Arkham City too, so I can play those eventually.
I will say, if you have you played Arkham Knight?
I haven't played Arkham Knight, no.
I watched James play a little bit of it when
it's
when
good.
it fucking came out, basically.
It's a bit repetitive towards the end. Everyone says that, and it's not something I will disagree with whatsoever. But I do think it is worth it, aside from all the faults that game has, which, truth be told, is numerous.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, but like, I don't know. It was $10 and it came with Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, so
it's definitely worth it then. Like all of those games together are pretty good. I do also like the inclusion, because Origins came before that one. I do like the inclusion in Arkham Knight of characters from Origins.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, because I don't know. It just made Origins feel more of a complete experience. Not saying it isn't, but it's definitely the most I would say underdone of the Arkham games. In terms of gameplay, the story from Origins is pretty good. Like, it's pretty solid all the way through.
Yep.
Oh, that reminds me, for whatever reason, Unloved is also 50% off right now. And Danny, I get the feeling that you're not in the same boat as me. You're in a different boat, going the opposite direction. But I actually like it.
What game?
I don't. Unloved.
Okay. I don't know what that is. So we have all three. We have all three dials of the spectrum.
Yes.
One person who loves it, one person who hates it, and the other guy who doesn't know where it is.
I don't hate it. It's just it's weird. It's selling itself based on the fact that it was based on a popular Doom mod or Doom 2 mod, and it's nothing like the Doom 2 mod. It's like nothing close.
Well, the guy that made Unloved is the same guy that made that Doom 2 mod.
I understand that, and I'm glad he got to make what he wanted his original vision to be, I'm assuming. Or maybe he just wanted to try something different. Either way, I don't hate his game. I don't think it's not worth playing. It goes on sale very often for $1.49. For that price, you cannot fucking beat that game. Because I don't even know how to describe Unloved, other than it's like a dungeon crawler. It's like a co-op dungeon crawler, like roguelike kind of deal. There's no permadeath, I don't believe.
No, because if you die, you keep, like, even if you die in the middle of a level, you keep all the shit that you found. So.
Oh, that's right. We did both die that one time. Okay, yeah. So there's no permadeath. Like, it's not exasperatingly hard. It's this weird horror shooter that if you get a bunch of friends together and you all have like $1.50, it is a fun time. Now. It's $2.49. Well, that's not bad either.
But, well,
I mean, regularly the game's like $5. That's still not a bad price.
Well, there are a bunch of like fucking challenge modes that we haven't even touched. I was playing a couple of them earlier, like pistols only. That's fun.
I know, there's a mode that's like it's just super hot. I know that.
Yeah, but it's single player only. I tried that one.
I know. I know the super hot mode is single player only.
But
has anyone ever done? Oh no.
What?
He died.
Oh.
No, I'm still here. I am currently dying.
Oh. Well,
Just so you know, I would still upload this episode. I just wouldn't have.
You have to. I wouldn't let you not upload this episode. We're gonna get like 16 views. If Danny dies in the middle of it.
I'll take one for the team.
Sorry, what were you gonna ask, Josh?
I don't even remember. Oh, I remember what I was gonna ask. Has anybody ever done slow motion in a multiplayer game and like made it work?
Max Payne 3.
How did they do it?
Because when slow-mo kicks on, it kicks on for
like the entire server, like everyone in the match.
If I remember
That
correctly,
sounds
yes,
like a
but it's not.
logistical nightmare.
It
Yeah, I was
sounds.
fixing to say.
Look! It sounds real bad. It sounds real bad, and I know that. But once you're actually playing it, like with, let's say you had a 6v6 team deathmatch or whatever. You don't start with bullet time. It has to be earned for one, or you have to just putz around long enough to get some. So it's not like you just start out and then the first 30 seconds of a match is an absolute nightmare. It sounds like it would be. I don't even know how to describe it other than you have to play the multiplayer mode
Of this PS3 game, that is probably.
I mean, it's on.
That has
it's on
probably
Steam as
been.
well.
Is the multiplayer still like active? Does it even still work? Have the servers not been shut down?
The last time I played, it was still up, but that was a couple months ago. So I mean, I don't know. Corona time, it could have happened.
It could have happened, yeah.
Stop the fucking presses. Haiti 2 came out 2 days ago, and nobody told me.
What the fuck do you
Hades?
mean, Haiti? Do you not know Haiti?
Haiti? No. Like the country?
No, the robot with big tits
Big mommy milkers.
that
Wait,
became a
all
fucking cultural
I'm interested.
touchstone, apparently.
Hold on.
I thought you said Hades 2 came out yesterday, and I was like, they just made the first one.
Yeah.
How'd they
No,
pull
you
that
have-
off?
So it's
Very
this
careful.
game about an android or a robot or something, whatever. She's got big mommy milkers.
A huge
Holy
set of
shit.
badonkers. It's.
And now,
Would you
according to
believe?
Steam,
Would you believe it's a fucking Metroidvania?
there is a
I
sequel.
would.
Look at those fucking mommy milkers! Jesus Christ! Oh, I know what the title of this episode is gonna be.
The trailer for this is just great, you guys.
I have to believe that it is.
This is a real screenshot from the store page. This isn't a
Yes.
mod.
Yes.
Oh, god damn it.
Post.
It's not going to let me do it, is it?
Post it so that I can't put it on YouTube. Do it.
I like how they made the 2 the H in Haiti. Is the
I
robot
also-
lady's
Oh, that is really cool.
is the robot
actually
lady's
cool.
name Haiti?
Yes.
As I don't know, I haven't played Haiti 2. It came out 2 days ago, and nobody
If you
told
say that,
me.
if you say that too fast, I think you're saying Payday 2. This is getting confusing.
That ass,
Yes.
though.
Is it porn?
No.
No,
It's-
but...
No?
It's okay. You might think that,
Well,
but it is.
well,
it is-
yes, but
it is a no.
technically no.
Listen, it is a completely straight-faced third-person Metroidvania.
Popular user-defined tags for this product are sexual content and nudity.
But
Sure,
I
but that
promise
those are
doesn't,
the
that
only
doesn't
two
equate
tags.
porn.
promise
That
you.
doesn't equate porn.
I promise you, I have seen
I
extensive
guess.
gameplay of this. It is completely. It takes itself completely seriously. It is super surreal, but also fucking
Views
the
are very
character,
positive.
The character is a milk truck, so
Yeah, no, it's okay, Josh. Imagine you were playing, like, okay. Let's just pretend we're gonna go into an alternate history path, right? Metroid Other M was fucking rockin', right? Is this third person like Metroid game, but also every time you make the slightest movement, like the slightest movement, Samus's luscious hips and tits just went everywhere. That is what Hades
I wouldn't be
is.
surprised if that's...
in fact, if you're so inclined, I would pretty much bet the fucking farm that there's a Steam Workshop mod that reskins Hades as Samus in fucking Zero Suit. In fact, I think I've seen that, so knock yourself out. You've earned it.
Probably. I know fucking 2B or B2 or whatever her name is from fucking
It's 2B.
Roomba,
It was one or the other, so you had a 50-50.
Automata.
Near Auto Roomba.
Yeah, Nier Auto Roomba. Nier...
That game, that's a good game.
Nier Robot Souls.
It's not a Dark Souls game.
No,
It's a
but the whole
Bayonetta
point
game.
the whole point is that robots have souls or whatever, right?
Do they, though?
I don't know because I haven't played Automata.
Was that the point? I legitimately don't know.
Not really, no.
Look, all I know
Actually-
is that they made
actually,
Nier
that's
in
not, like, the point of
2009
it at all.
first. They put fishing in the game, and that was it. It was bad.
It's... Hey,
It's
the
not
first
bad.
year was good.
No, it's
fun.
not bad.
But it's not good.
They put
But it's
fishing
not-
in the game.
but it's great,
So
but it's
people
not
were
good.
like, "All right, this game is bad." That's not the
game's
actual
bad.
reason.
But it's good.
Nier is not bad. It's mediocre. The game itself is mediocre.
But it's great. But it's great.
But it is great. The first Nier was fantastic. in
No,
its
I
own
get what
way.
you're saying. Did you ever hear the... Do you know, like, the specifics of that story? The fishing story?
No.
So, when the reviews for the
Well,
first
hold on.
Nier came out...
I vaguely... I will preface this. I vaguely know what it was about because the guy... I'm pretty sure there's this guy I follow now, and I'm pretty sure it's the same guy who had this fishing controversy.
Okay, so here's what this guy did. So, at a certain point in the first Nier, it introduces you to the really shallow fishing game where you go to a body of water and you press X and you get a fish. When it gives you this side mission, it puts you on a dock and you have to catch a specific type of fish. Like a specific type of fish at a specific... I think it's even at a specific, like, weight or length or something. And so this guy fished at that dock for, like... And this was before the game came out, too. He had a review copy, so there weren't any, like, guides or anything up online that he could look at. And he fished there for, like, 2 days straight, and he was like, I don't fuck it. This game fucking sucks. I don't know how to get this fucking fish and get past this part. Here's the thing. The spot that you're supposed to catch the fish is across the town at a specific beach. And it is marked on your map, but it is so, like... But here's the thing about that story, too, is that it is so, like... That part of the game is so obtuse, and everyone makes that mistake. So, like, I don't think people really got mad at him for giving it a bad review, because everyone was like, yeah, that part is kind of bullshit. Why would you make it like that?
No, everyone who was honestly sane,
You can do it.
I'm sorry. Everyone who's honestly sane was like, "Yeah, no, it's okay, man. I get that's stupid." But everyone who actually played the game and enjoyed it, per usual, had a fucking meltdown. Like the time Yahtzee was like, "Smash Brothers Brawl is Smash Brothers Brawl," and I don't know what you want me to say about it other than I don't care for it.
That was pretty much his whole review, and people. If you're, I need to put this out somewhere on the internet.
I just think it's funny.
I'm choosing to put it out here.
Hold on. I just think it's funny. I'll finish this up right now. That in his review, he called the game unfocused while not having the focus to finish the actual game before declaring all of it to be a steaming pile of shit.
Wait, who called it that? The guy you follow, or the near guy, or Yahtzee?
Not Yahtzee, although I don't think Yahtzee
the near guy.
Much cared for it either. But yeah, the near guy.
I don't think
the near
guy. I think
guy.
I've seen Yahtzee's review of Nier, and I don't think he even mentions the fishing. But don't quote me on that.
I don't think he mentions fishing at all.
I mean, you have to do it that one time, and then there is no reward or any real motivation to do it ever again. So, yeah, fishing doesn't get brought up unless it has completely destroyed your game. But, yeah, the guy called it, like I said, no, at least in the circles I keep, nobody really blamed him for making that mistake. Everyone was like, yeah, it's kind of, there are places where the first Nier can be pretty rough. But it's great. It has one of the best soundtracks of all time in a video game.
Hands down, and I don't even remember all of it.
Neither do I, but
like if somebody threw up a song right now and was like, "This is from Nier," I would just be like, "I don't give a shit. Turn it up."
Mm-hmm.
Also, confirmed Justin McElroy which is the dude I follow who does like the podcasts and stuff. He was the Nier guy.
He's the guy, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
Justin Hoops McElroy is in fact the Nier guy.
So I was gonna say I feel compelled to put this out on the internet somewhere, and I'm choosing to do it here. If when somebody has, even if it's a shit opinion, even if it's an objectively shitty opinion, when somebody has an opinion that you disagree with, that isn't just like blatant hate speech or something, it's just a bad opinion. If your default is sending death threats through like fucking email or physical mail, then you need to be sectioned away from the rest of society because you are unwell and you don't deserve to play with the other kids' toys.
Now that being said, I'm going to say some shit that's also going to get me sectioned, but that just made me remember all of the people...
Jacob deserves to die.
But Jacob deserves to die, and here's why. No, I just want to do...
I've heard this before.
I just want to go on a Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, like, post-credits scene where they fucking fly all over to everyone who is talking shit about them online and just kick the ever-living fuck out of them. I want that to happen, but to everybody who was so vitriolic and upset about The Last of Us 2 to the point where they were threatening a voice actor for playing a character. Every single person that sent a death threat to that actor, I think, should get a railroad spike in their brain.
There has never been a game I want to play less in my entire life.
Every single
than
one
The
of
Last
those
of Us
people
Part 2.
should be forcibly Phineas Gaged.
The Last of Us Part 2.
I heard what Josh said, and I have to agree. I don't think there's ever been a piece of media, and I say this with confidence. This includes Cardi B's WAP. I don't think there's ever been a piece of media or entertainment that I have given less of a physical fiddler's fuck about than The Last of Us Part 2.
I agree with everything you said except about WAP. But the point I'm trying to make is that, like...
That's fair.
I just don't want to be a part of whatever The Last of Us... Because it seems like everyone who engages or interacts with The Last of Us Part 2 has a terrible time.
Stop.
I'm not even talking about the game.
It's... The game itself, like the actual story components to The Last of Us, are fantastic. And I know everyone says that, and that's that's your opinion. You're right. That is my opinion. Okay, fair enough. That's super subjective. Whatever. I just think that if you like really well written drama and characters, that series has just so much, and there's so much with the human condition and character growth, and realizing that every time you play a game or participate in a story, the main character, sure, they're the hero of their own story, but like what they do has consequences greater than themselves. This revenge fantasy that Ellie indulges on leads her down a fucking horrible, miserable path that leads her to only one conclusion, and it's that she herself is a fucking terrible monster, as much as, spoilers, the girl who fucking played Joel in 1 fucking golf and bashed his head in at the beginning of the game.
Joel in 1.
Right.
That's
but I
brilliant.
just don't want to play it.
No, and I'm not saying that you. Josh, you have to play this game. It's the most amazing.
I don't want to.
I won't
just
say
saying
that The Last of Us 2 isn't probably like objectively well written or whatever. It's just that, and this probably stems from like me like not liking movies or TV that much, and but I want nothing to do with it, mostly because I can't find a fuck to give about any of the characters involved. Like, I get it. Hero of your story, villain of someone else's, right? Fuck off. I don't care. I don't care about that. You're a monster. We're all monsters. It's the fucking apocalypse. Get out of here.
For the most part, I don't either. It's not like I go around reading like fucking old 18th century, like, oh, may kill the dragon, right up. It's not that I care about every hero of your own story, villain of someone else's. I'm just saying, if you can find these games on sale, I think they are worth a shot. Even if you put them down, you resell them, you throw them in the fucking bin, I think it is worth a shot. If you guys ever, I don't know if you've played the first Last of Us, but if you can find 1 and 2 in a bundle deal on like a sale, or you get like the first one for like fucking like 60 cents at like a resale shop, whatever, I think it is definitely worth trying. I will defend these games to my last stand, but not to the point where I'm like, oh, if you don't like The Last of Us 1 and 2, you're just a bigot, or you're just a fucking, I don't know, something or other. Whatever the fuck happened like a couple months ago, that's not what I'm trying to push. I'm just saying the games themselves are worth trying out.
I just don't want to play them because I don't want to have these conversations. It seems like anyone who interacts with The Last of Us has a worse time, despite how good the games are. It just seems like you come out of it, of experiencing that community, as a worse person.
Yeah, I totally see what Josh is saying too, because I've seen that same thing. It's like,
no, absolutely.
It's like,
I just don't want to interact with it as
especially with
a
The
piece
Last
of art.
Us 2, because you can't, at this point, you can't do anything with The Last of Us 2 without being saddled with all of the fucking like baggage that's coming from everything that surrounded it, including the shitty community, and also most people, well, maybe you can, but a lot of people can't. Like, I want nothing.
Okay,
to do with a lot of things because of the community.
I'm willing to let you continue on this. But I just want to say one thing.
Sure.
Undertale.
Yeah, but I played Undertale before the community got shitty. I wouldn't expect...
No, it was like immediate.
I wouldn't expect
it was like
anybody...
immediate. Undertale blew up,
okay.
and then the fandom was there the next day, ruining it there for everyone.
If you travel, and this is no personal offense to you, but if you travel in your circles, it was immediate. I don't talk to a lot of the people you talk to.
I'm just
saying to
online,
the kind of people that start
not even just
shipping characters and drawing weird fan art, then it's immediate.
Right, but even online, like past, I'm out of high school now, right? A lot of the cringy things that me and my friends did, we don't do anymore, or those that don't do it. So high schoolerly, if that makes sense to anybody, I don't know. But I'm just saying, even online, like the fan community to Undertale was so vitriolic so fast, and yet people to this day are still enjoying it. And I think that has more to do with.
Well, that kind of ties into my next point that I was gonna make, is that when you sit down and play through Undertale, you come away from it feeling warm and fuzzy and happy inside. Because it's a fucking, and I get it, they're trying to tell two different stories here, whatever, but you come away from it feeling great, like, fuck, that felt like all of my childhood that I was missing wrapped up into one fantastic game, and it served me on a silver platter. And then you play through The Last of Us, and you're like, man, the world fucking sucks, and we're all gonna die. I want to go lay in a hole and never get out of it.
Did you play through The Last of Us? I thought you didn't play through The Last of Us.
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you. For your specific point of view and how you played Undertale through the first time. Somebody else who played Undertale might have just said fuck it and gotten the worst possible ending, the worst possible.
But that's the thing, though. Like Undertale, and you know this, Undertale is designed in a way that you have, if you want to do the genocide realm, which is what I assume you're talking about, you have to know how to do it. You can't do it on accident. Unless you're just extremely unlucky. Because you have to kill a certain number of... you have to have a certain number of random encounters in each area before you go to, like, the boss of the area. And most people aren't going to know to do that.
Yes, but also, let's say that they don't follow pacifist completely. They're still going to be left with quite a bit of a shit ending. They're not going to... They're not gonna get the same. This is my childhood, my overwhelming happiness, because even while those elements exist, even while those elements exist throughout the whole game, not just the ending, there are parts that change in drastic ways, even if you just kill one thing.
But most of those endings aren't, like, depressing. They're just melancholic, if anything.
Yes, I understand.
Because I've seen all of those endings.
My point being is and I hate to
this is truly this is just proving Josh's point.
I hate to say this. But what I think I'm trying to say is I think that maybe the Last of Us fandom should be more like Undertale.
So what you really mean is maybe the Last of Us fandom should be more like Steven Universe, and maybe Steven Universe should be more like Homestuck. This goes on forever.
Forget it.
Which, like I said, this just proves Josh's point.
Just drop it.
My eyes kind of glazed over during that entire conversation, but I will say that,
well, your point
at least proved. At least I as it usually is, because I am always right. But in my experience, with like Undertale, there is at least like a surface level community that's like, yeah, Undertale is good, and then you dig deeper and you get to the really shitty parts of the Undertale fandom.
Rounded buffoon? Are you our fucking Carl Pilkington now? Is that what you're going for?
That's what I just felt like. I don't know. I just felt like I had an argument with myself.
With The Last of Us, it feels like that community is like that's the surface level. Is like with The Last of Us Part 2, that like controversy and all of that became so much of the experience that it's impossible to separate that game from that controversy.
I understand what you mean wholeheartedly, and I don't know if I disagree with you. I just, to anybody who's listening who obviously knows that even if you don't know what the controversy was, you know that there was a controversy surrounding the game.
Here's how I'm gonna phrase it. It feels like the only reason at this point to play The Last of Us Part 2 would be to form an opinion of it, whereas with Undertale you can just play that game and have a good time.
Which you can, and if you haven't played Undertale yet, then
And I bet-
missing out.
And I bet you can play The Last of Us Part 2 and just have a good time. I bet it's a decent game, but at this point, like, the only reason I would play it would be to form an opinion on it, and I don't want to.
It's the gameplay itself is I find is if anyone's itching for, if you don't care about story, if you could just give a shit but you like survival horror games, one, how did you make it this far? And two, play The Last of Us 2, because you just skip all the cutscenes and you're left with a wonderful survival horror game.
So what you're saying is that in a world where every video game is John Wick, The Last of Us Part 2 is Schindler's List. Is that what I'm picking up?
That sounds a little extreme.
Does, right?
The Last of Us 2 is...
It does, right? It would be really stupid if somebody said something like that, wouldn't it have been?
Oh, that's a real quote.
Why did somebody say something like that? Who said that?
Yeah, somebody did. That was a really, like, when the reviews were circulating, that was a really popular quote. But I guess we've all forgot about it now.
That's the first I've ever heard of it.
Truth be told, I had never heard of that. Otherwise, I don't think I would have ever stopped saying it.
Oh man, people drag that guy through the mud.
I think I would have brought that right up alongside the exaggerated swagger of a black
swagger of a black teen. You know that guy's black too, right? The guy who said that.
Really?
That's what makes it okay.
Yeah.
Or something. Look, man, it's a fucking no holds. It's a fucking no holds barred knockout brawl here at the end of 2020 right now. All right.
I'm not saying the guy who said that quote is a racist. I just want to mock it because it just came out of nowhere. And to be honest,
you know what's?
I think is a little vaguely weird, right?
It is very. It's very weird. It's a very weird
I think
quote.
It was a super clever, subversive way to get us all to think about the fucking just like
the exaggerated swagger of a black teen.
No, the racist subtext that exists in all of our lives, even if we think we're not racist. Because here's the thing: you read that quote, you read the exaggerated swagger of a black teen, and no matter what, no matter who you are, you had something in mind. You knew what it meant, whether it was right or wrong.
I knew what other people thought it meant.
And that's fucking incredible, isn't it?
Well, if that's
it doesn't
true,
make sense to me because,
a Tony or a Golden Globe. Does someone give him a fucking credit at the fucking Writers Actors Guild or whatever the fuck?
Well, the weirdest part about that, quote to me personally is that the weirdest part about that quote to me personally is that no, Miles doesn't. Miles is like. Miles has no swagger. He is a fucking Boy Scout. He knows sign language.
Sorry. Hold on.
He's not even a Boy Scout. He's a fucking Cub Scout. Not even Wolf Scout. He's Cub Scout.
You're telling me that this guy is not absolutely full of the that's a PNG. It told me it was a GIF.
Oh, I'm sorry. Man,
But hey,
So
hey,
I was thinking about this the other day. I wonder how many of my problems with Miles Morales as a game and like not thinking the story was as good as the first one is just because Spider-Verse is so good.
probably.
Spider-Verse is really good.
Spider-Verse is fucking amazing. It's my favorite superhero movie. There it goes.
Yeah. It's so good. Everything about Spider-Verse, down to the most minute detail,
Is incredible.
Is incredible. I think I think it's close to perfection. Obviously, that's subjective.
Yeah, but also like I can't really think of anything that I would change about Spider-Verse. So I guess in that regard, it is perfect.
Even down to Kingpin's portrait, to where he's a more like soft, round character design when he's with his family, as opposed to this brick shit house, like squared up dude when he's dealing with Spider-Man. No, it's true. It's true though.
He's absolutely
you're right. You're right.
That game is
Danny. You should.
I know what you're thinking about. Spider-Man, you gotta help me. I've been transformed into an Xbox. Hold on. I'll make sure that our audience gets that.
Did you hear one of the guys at Capcom, I think it was fairly recently, put out an interview where he was talking about he worked on the Punisher arcade game, and the final boss of the Punisher arcade bit game is Kingpin, right?
Yeah.
Well, they wanted to basically make him like Apocalypse from X-Men Children of the Atom and just make him fill the screen. Hold up, I'm going to pull up some visual guides. Visual assistance, rather. Okay. Jacob, you can skip all of this if you want to.
Okay. Oh, so while Josh is getting his visual assistance really quick, so has anybody? Because I know I've heard and I mean this is I personally learned my lesson during the days of the PS2 and just had it hammered home with the 360. I don't buy consoles on launch. I fucking know better. But so apparently the Series X or whatever has been having some fucking wacky problems from like basically I've seen stuff where apparently smoke has been coming out of it.
Real quick, that smoking thing. The smoking thing, I know what that's about, but I'm going to let you finish before I go on.
I am going to like
check
that
and see
tweet.
if it's bullshit. I just know that I've seen it from like 3 separate people, or seemingly separate people, and I thought it was hilarious, so I didn't want it to die. But then I've seen other stuff where it's basically like been almost exploding. But I haven't heard anything about the PS5, and I was wondering if you guys had.
I think that most of this is like some viral. I don't know if it's like agents of Sony, but what I think it is people who prefer Sony going out and just trying to make the Series X look as unappealing as possible. Because my Xbox is smoking. It's so terrible. It doesn't do anything. People literally they like the first footage of like, oh, my Series X is smoking. Some additional footage came out of the guys setting up the scene, and they're like, all right, vape into it real quick. So people are vaping into their Series X's, like near the fan or whatever. And
yeah, that's what I've been hearing. I heard it does some really cool shit when you do that.
Oh, it looks cool. It's not good for your Xbox, so if your Xbox is fucking up, it's because you're blowing tornadoes into it. I just solved that fucking problem for you.
I imagine it looks cool to the kind of person that does fucking vape tricks, which is not the kind of person I want to be around for any length of time, because I'll hit them. I'll hit them for existing.
It's true.
So, as a newly knighted employee of Vestvai, I will tell you that neither of the consoles currently have any recall-worthy defects. But I did hear that apparently with the PlayStation 5, like I said, I'm new to this, so I don't really know a whole lot, but apparently the fan isn't optimally placed, like close enough to the SSD or something. But apparently it can overheat in like warmer climates, and that can be an issue. But that's all I've heard. I haven't heard anything about either console that like was brick worthy. But I did hear somewhere that like in the summer in like areas closer to the what's it called, the equator, you might need to have a fan on it because the fan that's in the console isn't close enough to keep it from like overheating.
That's ridiculous.
Do they just mean like just point a fan at it?
Yeah,
like,
I'm not.
just
I'm not
keep it
going
cool.
to do that. I will either wait
Here's
for
what's
somebody
gonna
to fix
happen.
it, or I won't buy a PS5.
Here's what's
because
going to
that's-
happen. If
those are the
telling-
kind of
if they're
things that
telling people-
irritate the fuck out of me.
If they're telling people to just point a fan at it, I don't think that's going to work, because I don't know if you guys remember the intercoolers from the 360 days, but the intercoolers actually did more fucking harm than good, because what it was is just putting a fan on top of a fan, blowing against where the fan is going, so all of that heat is actually going right back in the console.
Like I said, I think it only applied to like warmer areas where like it gets really hot during the summers, but they did say that like apparently the cooling system in the PlayStation 5 isn't optimal, and the internals get to really high temperatures, but it hasn't been anything that's like recall worthy yet. And that's just what I heard on the internet.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then they need to fix it. But that's
Yeah,
like,
just 'cause
that's the kind of thing. That's the kind of thing that irritates the fuck out of me, though, because that sounds like one of those things that's so goddamn simple.
Like
But
I said,
somebody somewhere fucked it up, and now it's somehow the consumer's problem. Oh, just point a fan at it. Fuck you, point a fan at it. Who are you paying, and how much are you paying them to not get this fucking right at launch?
like I said, it's not really something that's like bricking PS5s en masse, but it's something that somebody noticed about it, so
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, I hear that.
It's like when Microsoft releases a Windows update that bricks people's computers, and I'm like, how fucking long have you guys been doing this? Seriously?
I get that, and I get that. It's like maybe you just don't want to bring it up because you're dreading the day where you have to deal with somebody coming in angry as fuck that their PlayStation 5 is not a PlayStation 5 anymore. It's effectively a paperweight. But just because
I don't
it's
deal
like,
I don't deal with that. Geek Squad deals with that.
all right, well there you go. You have even less to worry about.
Yeah, Geek Squad.
My point being is just because they're saying right now, like, oh yeah, people in the summer in warmer places, point a fan at it, get on with it, whatever. How long until there's just something fucks up, and summer is far away, but the PlayStations are just on en masse, just fucking up. Because as it is right now, yeah, it's not a big problem. What happens if it does, though? It is my thing. That's a lot of money.
Pretty sure. Well,
it's like Nintendo coming out fairly recently.
if it's a
and
defect,
being
you can
like,
get it
"Hey,
replaced.
Hey, here's just a reminder to everybody during quarantine times. Remember not to leave your Switch's battery discharged for long periods of time, or it won't hold a charge anymore. Okay, see you, bye.
Oh yeah, I've got to make sure that I keep my Switch on its charger. Because I don't want that to happen.
Switch is just fucked.
Which, like, to people like us who have had like Game Boys and shit, that's not news. it's still irritating. That's a thing. You figure they work that out by now. Like how fucking
Doesn't it need to be off the charger for like a sacrilegious amount of time though? Doesn't it need to be off the charger for like 2 years for that to happen?
like okay, so like older like Game Boys and shit like did. You need to like plug them in, charge them up, make sure they were good like every couple of years. But apparently the Switch does not. It's like a couple of months. But that therein lies the problem though. Like I said, to us, like we know that shit. Like if you leave your shit that has like rechargeable internal batteries discharged for long periods of time, then it's gonna wreck the battery and it's gonna be worthless. But to like the person that like plays like this shit casually, which a lot of people that bought the Switch do because it was like kind of a fad, their shit's gonna get fucked. And that's not cool.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
yeah, yes and no, because I know plenty, sorry, of people who play their Switch casually, but they'll just leave it like docked up, and they'll still use it to watch like Hulu or fucking whatever. But like when they, like I have a friend who literally they like just play Animal Crossing on it, and I think most people who, even if they are not exactly like gamers or super technology savvy, because the person I'm speaking of, I know certainly isn't. Like I think for most people they'll probably just leave it docked up, which I'm sure might cause its own series of problems, but
yeah. Well, it depends on whether or not it that would only cause a problem if, and I don't know if it does or not. I haven't checked. But that would only cause a problem if it's continually feeding power to it, or if it stops when it's like fully charged, and then the dock stops feeding power to it. Because a lot of things will have like that sort of like adaptive power, like power regulator or whatever the fuck you want to call it, to make sure that doesn't happen. Because that was a problem that like laptops would have, is that if you left your laptop plugged in constantly, then it would wreck the battery because it was constantly getting power fed to it, and it's not supposed to do that.
Right.
But they have things now where
can we talk about that, because that was a problem for way too fucking long.
Oh yeah,
like
no.
I remember getting.
I don't know if
laptop.
it's still a problem. I don't know if it's still a problem, but I can confirm as early, I guess, as 2014, which is when I got the laptop I have now.
Yes.
That was
as early as 2014, because I was just about to bring up the fact that I also got a laptop in that year, and its battery eventually did just brick itself, because I expected a gaming laptop in the year of our Lord fucking 2014 to, I don't know, be made well.
Well, there's like even like today, like fucking 2020, like brand new gaming laptops, you look and they still have like a listed battery life of like 2.5-3 hours, and I'm like, what the fuck? What in the actual goddamn? When are we gonna get some decent fucking battery life on some of this shit? Stop innovating the fucking screen. I don't give a shit how many like what number you put before the K. Innovate the goddamn battery.
Yeah, like
if it's a gaming
laptop,
then it's probably going to be a while.
And I know they're not, but if anybody from any kind of gaming anywhere listens to this, nobody gives a shit about RGB. Stop putting RGB lights on fucking everything. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, I like my RGB lights.
Like they're cool, but like I don't actually fucking care.
If I wanted my computer to light up, I would take the Christmas lights that are on above me right now and just wrap it around my computer like 100 times.
I don't know what you're talking about. Also, the point I was going to get at was that if you want longer battery life on a gaming laptop, that's probably never going to happen. Just because of how much space the like processor and the video card take up in a gaming laptop.
Well, then
it doesn't really even have anything to do with the battery. It's just there's not enough room to put a monster like i7 processor and a like a GeForce video card
But that's the thing, though.
into a laptop and have it stay.
There would be, but they keep trying to make gaming laptops like thinner and slimmer, and nobody's asking them to do that. I'm perfectly fine with like the fucking
Not really.
big
Gaming
boxy
laptops
bitch
usually
old-ass
say
Alienware.
Yeah, that's a desktop though.
No, Alienware.
That's
Danny
different.
knows what I'm talking about.
No,
Danny knows what I'm
Alienwares have
talking about.
laptops.
Yeah, I know.
And
Danny knows what I'm talking about. The big boxy Alienware bitch, the fucking laptops. It's like
Yeah,
opening
but that's
a
like
fucking
legit.
lunchbox.
Yeah,
That's
but
like legit.
Yeah, but that's fine. That's what I want out of a gaming laptop. I want it to look
Yeah,
like an
but
old
if you
fucking
make-
90s fucking laptop because
make
I assume
gaming laptops like that, then you'll have space for the fucking battery. I just, like, yesterday, I went and looked at the fucking gaming laptops available in, like, fucking, at Walmart and fucking somewhere else. I don't remember, like, Office Depot or whatever. And they're all like, oh, it's new slim design. And I fucking went online to see what Dell had because I was thinking about getting one to replace the laptop I have because the laptop I have is, like, 8 years old. And I'm just browsing gaming laptops and like, all of it. Like, that's one of their fucking, like, marketing pitches. It's like, look how slim and streamlined it is. And I didn't ask for it to be that way. Like, it's cool, it's ergonomic, it looks neat, it looks modern, but motherfucker, make it bigger if it means I can have more battery life.
You know I've got one of those Asus ROGs from like
Yeah.
2 years ago, and it's got about it's got like 3 or 4 hours on unplugged. Assuming you're not like playing anything. But if you're playing anything and you try to play it on unplugged, like the frame rate drops to like half of what it was. Just because it can't run. You need more. You need Tim Allen in this bitch getting you more power. If you want to run Quake.
I can run Quake 2 so fast.
Jesus Christ, settle down.
But that's old Quake. I can't run new Quake so fast. I can't run new Quake at all.
Can you run Crisis?
I definitely can't run Crisis.
Jesus Christ. I miss the days when Crisis was just like melting people's PCs.
Well, aren't they
I don't feel like-
remastering Crisis?
No,
Don't we get
yeah,
to do
then
this
you're,
again?
Yeah.
you're nostalgic for right now.
Yeah, but it
They've
runs on
made
the
it-
Switch, so like who gives a shit?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. That I don't take that to mean anything because the fucking Switch is the weirdest goddamn thing because I read an entire fucking article about when they brought Doom to the Switch, and the people that brought Doom to the Switch and like basically sat down in the interview and was like, yeah, all known laws of the universe state that what we have done here should be a physical fucking impossibility, but here we are. It should be impossible
I heard similar,
for Doom
yeah.
to be on the Switch, but somehow it has been done. And when they did that, everyone was like, well, I guess the sky's the fucking limit.
I
But yeah,
remember hearing
it
that
is so weird.
before you guys audibly throw up in your mouths, I remember hearing something similar about Sonic Boom. So apparently, like the version of Crysis, like the engine that they run Sonic Boom on, just should not work on a Wii U. And like,
That's actually,
So they
it's
got-
actually true.
yeah, they got it was supposed to be releasing for like PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 and stuff. But they got the engine and they went to the guy, and then Sega said, this has to be on Wii U now. We're partnered with Wii U. And they were like, what? And so they went to Crytek and were like, we need to get this version of Crysis running on the Wii U. And they were like, you're not going to be able to do that. And apparently they modified the engine to, like, it's a miracle that game boots up.
Well, that's true for more than one reason.
When you
Yeah.
get this version of Crysis running on the Wii U, there's no way that engine is going to run on the Wii U. And then they called John Carmack and said, "Hey,
Hey kids,
we need
want
you to
some
make
scaling
a game
routines?
engine. We need you to make a game engine do something that it's not supposed to do."
So the Kingpin I read
you
an
gotta
interview.
help me.
Yeah, that's right. We were talking about. All right.
Right. So the Kingpin, when they were making the original Punisher game, the Kingpin is the final boss at the end, right?
Yeah.
Right?
The Punisher arcade game by Capcom. But they wanted him to be like this giant screen-filling just chunk of a person, like Apocalypse. I think I said it was in Children of the Atom. No, it was in X-Men vs. Street Fighter that Apocalypse showed up. Like that's what they wanted him to be.
Oh my god.
And
That would have been incredible.
and they went to Marvel rather, and they were like, you can't draw the Kingpin like that. He's never looked like that ever. And they were like, no, he totally has in some of the comics. And they were like, bring us the comics that he's looked like that in. And they couldn't find any, so they had to shrink him down to a normal human size. But apparently the same thing happened with Into the Spider-Verse, where they're like, you can't draw the Kingpin as just this like giant brick wall of a human being. He's never looked like that in the comics. But they actually found the comic book like references where he was just this ginormous, like 18-foot tall square of a human being.
Yeah, because he definitely
so-
has showed up in the comics pre-Spider-Verse.
No, he has.
Yeah,
Mhm.
pre-Spider-Verse. Looking just like a brick shithouse. In fact, that's
Mhm.
the only way I know the Kingpin. You can find him in the animated, like Spider-Man cartoons and shit. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Is there a mod
But
for Resident Evil 2 to turn Mr. X,
X into Kingpin.
Because if there's not, I want that.
Get on it, boyo.
There aren't a whole like lot of huge mods for RE2.
All right,
Yeah,
well, that's
no,
one
it's
that
mostly
needs to
foreign.
happen.
You could put him in a sling bikini and a banana hammock.
All
Like I
right,
said,
so if
mostly
anybody happens to be listening to this that is good modder that does mods for Resident Evil 2, do both of those things that we just said at the same time.
Well, the Mr. Oh, no. I see. You want a mod that takes Mr. X and makes him Kingpin, and then you want the Mr. X mod to also be applied to Kingpin. Is that what I have correct?
No, almost. I want a mod that turns Mr. X into Kingpin, but also in like a sling bikini.
So what I said, but you said it, so now it's correct. Got it.
Well, I didn't follow what you said, if I'm being honest.
My point being, Mr. I almost said Mr. Kingpin. No, you know what? Yeah, Mr. Kingpin belongs in the Borat suit. All right, I said it.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at. Make it so.
Do you want to get like Vincent D'Onofrio in, or do you just want Kingpin to be drawn from now on as in a banana hammock?
Riker, make it so.
Surprise me.
Mr. Data, suck my cock.
Speaking of Apocalypse, since last we spoke, I have seen X-Men Apocalypse. That movie fucking sucks. So bad.
I heard a lot of mixed.
It's just the worst.
Okay.
No, there's no mixed.
Okay.
There's no mixed. That movie's terrible.
No, that's fine. I'm not defending it. I haven't seen it. I'm just saying I heard a lot of mixed stuff about it.
So did I, and I watched it because I was like, if it's mixed, then I can probably handle it. And I like Apocalypse. I think he's a cool dude. And Oscar Isaac is playing Apocalypse, so that should be enjoyable. It wasn't. It is not a good movie. And it's like 2.5 hours long.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! So
It's
not
kind of
only were you
incredible.
having a bad time. The bad time.
I was having a
overstayed
bad
its
time for
welcome.
like. I was so hype at the end of Days of Future Past 2 when they had Apocalypse building the pyramids and all the dudes were chanting his name. I was like, oh shit, fucking Apocalypse is coming, and then I saw it, and then it was bad.
I just feel like most of those X-Men movies are not good. Like, I haven't seen the original 3 since I was a kid, and
I mean,
Any
the
other
original three
X-Men
were made
movie-
during a different time.
No, for sure. I understand that.
So yeah, they're kind of weird. They hold up differently. I watched all of them over the past like
they
2 weeks
probably
ago or
would
something.
hold up in a unique, like, nostalgic charm.
Yeah, they've got their charm.
But those movies that they're making now, it's just who are those for?
I liked First Class and I just said the name of it and I already forgot it.
You liked First Class
And Days of Future Past. Yeah, First Class is all right.
Ooh, okay. Sure.
Days of Future Past was pretty good too. Like,
Yeah, Days of Future Past is fine. I don't know.
First Class is all right. I like First Class.
I just felt like
I
that
have
movie
no stake
was...
in this matter.
I felt
Yeah,
like
Jacob doesn't watch movies, so he doesn't get to talk now.
I feel like First Class is just largely unfocused. And also, look, I know that this is just a problem with X-Men because they have guys
And
who
if
just...
anybody knows unfocused, it's Danny.
Trust me, it's me. But I get this is a problem with just X-Men as a whole, at least for me. But the fucking the like flying squirrel guy in that movie where he's like flying over the fucking like beach on like the Gulf of Mexico during like the Cuban Missile Crisis or whatever. Like, what? Are you for fucking real?
Yes, he's an X-Man.
Yeah, yes.
Like I
and once
said,
again, I
like
get
you
that.
said, if you don't like that, then you're just not gonna like X-Men.
I don't know, man. It was more so just... I don't know what it was about First Class, and it probably is just that I don't like X-Men because I mean thinking of it, I can't think of that many like stories from the actual books or any one character that I have a love and appreciation for past Deadpool, and he's not even an official X-Man. I mean, he is, but he's not. That's his whole shtick.
But he's not. I don't know. I like the X-Men. They're cool.
They're
Storm.
Cool. I have
Wolverine.
My point being is I'm
Nightcrawler.
fucking stupid, so everything I say is irrelevant. I guess. I don't know.
But whatever the case, don't watch X-Men Apocalypse because it is bad, and somehow Dark Phoenix is supposed to be even worse? I don't get that.
Yeah, I have heard, like, no mix, I heard Dark Phoenix was abysmal. It is, like, the worst fucking thing that they have
New Mutants
done
also,
that far.
apparently, was, like, terrible.
I didn't even bother, because I was gonna give...
I didn't even know that happened.
That happened, like, a while ago. That's been, like, a year, I think.
Right?
It was
Right?
It was still when movies were a thing in movie theaters.
Those were the days.
No, honestly, no, they weren't. I'm so glad. Like, I miss movie theaters, but I'm so glad they're gone. All right, they're filthy. They're fucking disgusting.
Then you don't miss movie theaters.
At all. Okay, at all. Because let me tell you the scenario. Every fucking time, it's a movie I want to see, and then I have to deal with Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch and their ugly fucking troglodytes. Alright? Two idiots fucked in the 90s, and now they're making it my problem just because I want to see a horror movie. Alright, I have to listen to them open their fucking snacks and shit, which they snuck into the theater, and they're gonna leave their trash there, so somebody at the end of the night is getting in fucking trouble. And I have to hear them be overly fucking loud or go like, oh wow, it's something that's super fucking obvious. Movie theaters are a terrible place. Please open them back up. I want to get coronavirus.
Well, if you want to get coronavirus...
I was gonna say that I miss movie theaters like so fucking much. But then
just,
Danny went off, so I'm just gonna be quiet now.
No, you can have...
I've never had a problem
You
with people
could've
talking
told
in a
me to
movie
shut
theater.
the fuck up. I don't care. It's just I don't care for the movie theater experience. It's not that I've had nothing but
anytime-
bad ones.
Like the few times that there's been a movie that I actually wanted to see, and not only that I actually wanted to see, but wanted to see so badly that I went to a movie theater to see it. I've always gone like when it was about to leave theaters because no one's fucking there anymore.
Did I ever tell you the story about how I
That's
saw?
the secret. It's just me and like 3 other people in the theater, and we're all there for the same thing, so we're not going to be bothering each other.
Well, that's the problem. I'll try to do that too, but I think I just have the literal luck of the Irish because anytime that would happen, I just get fucked.
The only time I've ever had a problem in a movie theater was I went and saw Pacific Rim at the Paris movie theater, and I got there like 20 minutes early, and I sat down. I was watching the previews, and it was just me in the theater, so I was like sat right in the middle. And then right before the movie came on, like 3 or 4 like elementary school kids came and sat behind me, and realizing that they were the only ones in the theater with just one other person, they started throwing popcorn at the back of my head and giggling.
Oh.
But everything turned out all right though, because I tattled on them. I told on them, and they got thrown out of the movie theater, and I got to watch all of Pacific Rim on my own in this giant theater, and it was awesome.
Yeah, that does
I
sound
am
pretty
so
fucking mad.
proud of you.
And there are situations like that do happen where annoyance turns into convenience. At the movie theaters, I'm not gonna say that movie theaters are exclusively a hellish wasteland where fun goes to die, even though for the most part I think that's true.
I just miss them, man.
I
I want to go see a movie so goddamn badly.
I miss them for the fact of the sense of community, but in the actual sense of it's a place like, oh, I want to go to the movie theater. No, I don't. I want to go do something with my friends, and going to a movie theater with your friends is the most banging experience because you just don't give a shit.
See,
not
that's
in the
thing.
sense.
I've
not in
never
the sense
understood
of
going to the movies.
I guess I
with
also
a
just
group of
want movies to
friends.
be released now, because every movie that I've been excited for has been delayed like 2 years now. So
I've just been
Dude.
catching
like
up
the
on,
average.
like,
Black Widow,
Like,
No
I
Time
guess
to Die.
just
I
like
just
the
want to see those goddamn movies.
The average movie theater, experience has made 0 sense to me for a very long time. Now, like, there's movie theaters like the one that Josh we went to see the fucking Dragon Ball Z movie. James and my brother were there. Those movie theaters are fucking banging. Those ones are cool.
I mean, that's
But,
like
the
basically what
average-
every movie theater in Nashville is. And I was just gonna say, I like that. My favorite movie theater is that little one in Murray. What is it called? Like the
Cherry.
Oh, you know what?
the
Okay, I have an addendum.
that like super retro looking one.
I have
Yeah,
an
Cherry.
addendum to post.
Yeah, the Cherry.
to my diatribe. If it's like a small like local movie theater, please go out and support that because those are the theaters that actually like truly matter. Like theaters where it's not just like, come see Avengers 12, it's gonna be the same, but Robert Downey Jr. is back.
Hey man, Avengers Endgame is really good.
Avengers Endgame was more of Avengers, which was good because I like the Avengers, but I don't know.
It's good.
I have like a whole separate thing with those Marvel movies that I won't get into right now because it's basically just a worse version of what Martin Scorsese said. But
No, they're all the same, but they're good.
support.
I like them.
Support your local movie.
And Martin
theater
Scorsese is right,
because
but I like them.
Often, at least this has been my experience with like local movie theaters, they have like themed nights, and they'll do like events where they'll play like older movies like Jaws and stuff like that. Go experience that, especially if you've never seen those movies. Go with your friends. Go with your family when you can, when everything is not danger. Those are the movie theaters I want to stay around, like local stuff, big like multiplex cinemas, fucking IMAX. I think those all should go away forever and never come back.
I don't.
I am opposite spectrum. I fucking love those multiplex IMAX theaters with like restaurants and shit on them. That shit is banging.
It is pretty rad.
Like, yeah, support your local theater, but like, holy shit, those fucking
I
theaters are fucking awesome.
I have like 3 of those that I can select to go to whenever I want to go to
They're
a
the
movie.
coolest.
I don't know. I
It's
just
it's
feel
pretty
like I've
rad. At
had
first I was
the.
first I kind of thumbed my nose at them, but they are pretty cool.
I guess we've just had to. When it comes to movie theaters, we've had.
I
two
remember I went to
entirely
one of
different
those in
experiences.
like Pittsburgh. That shit, it had House of the Dead 2 in it, like because I had an arcade.
Yep.
Man,
Yep.
those theaters are great. No,
Yep.
man, yeah, I like those theaters.
Maybe it's just the Midwest. I think that's actually just the problem.
Probably.
Yeah, you just might live in a place that sucks. The more
All
the
right.
more we discuss
So
talk to you, the more it comes to
everything I said
come to
throw that
light
out the
that you
window.
just live in a place that sucks.
I got a new diatribe. If you live in the Midwest, contact me. I will give you a free 22 round. You know what
Yeah,
to
if you
do
live in the
with it.
Midwest, it's impossible to be happy in the Midwest. I don't care what John Mellencamp says.
I don't know.
Yeah, I lived in that
I
same
just-
small town, John Mellencamp. It sucks. But we had ice cream at a Baskin Robbins. That was pretty rad. Jacob, did I ever tell you the story about that tiny little theater I went to see Blade Runner 2049?
I think you might have, but like, refresh my memory.
Okay, so I'm going to start this off by saying that I am convinced that this theater that I went to, I am convinced that it was a repurposed porno theater.
Okay.
Okay.
So, for some reason, I wanted to see Blade Runner 2049 on opening night, as one does, but the only theater that was having a midnight showing of it was... Do you even remember where it was, Jacob? It was in, like... It was in buttfuck nowhere, Tennessee. And so
Right.
I was like, alright, I'm going to go to this midnight showing of Blade Runner 2049, and then I'm going to head over to Jacob's place after that, and we're going to hang out. So I went to buttfuck nowhere, Tennessee. I wonder if it's still on my Fandango. Hold up. While I'm telling this story, I'm going to see if I still have that on my Fandango account.
Do you have an Android phone?
Yep.
Have you had the same Android phone from when you went to see 2049?
Nope.
Well, it might be tied to your
So,
account.
yeah, if you've got location on, then that shit tracks everywhere you go.
Yep, it sure does.
It doesn't really...
I already knew,
It doesn't really matter.
I already
Hold
knew
up.
that, but I had a grim reminder of that today when I went to see if a gas station was open this morning, and it was like, "Oh, you were there like 4 years ago. You should know."
Not only does that shit track where you go all the time if you have location turned on, but if you happen to be somewhere and you take a picture, then it tracks where the picture was taken, and you
Yeah.
can view pictures that you've taken in certain areas on Google Maps. Oh, the future's scary.
Okay, so while I'm looking at that, for the exact location of this movie theater. But anyways, I get there, and there's 2 theaters. That's it. There's 2 screens. And they're both down these dark hallways. And in between both of them, you go in through the doors, and it's completely like windowless. It's just windowless brick building outside of a Walmart. And there are antique dolls on display all over the place. Like right outside the concession stand.
Okay.
And
Did you
And
get
you go in and it's-
transported to fucking Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I might have, but and the theaters, like the screens, it wasn't like a giant like. It was a tiny little porn theater room, was what it was. It was no bigger than like Jacob's apartment.
The
The
whole
screen
theater?
no bigger than like. Yeah,
Yeah, no, okay. I don't. It definitely was.
yeah, no. But that's where I saw Blade Runner 2049, surrounded by antique dolls, and Blade Runner 2049 was a blast, and I had a great time, and the popcorn was great,
I feel like
And
that's like the best possible scenario in seeing Blade Runner 2049.
I don't know about that. Blade Runner 2049 is a pretty good movie.
I feel like if we
No,
tried to go
I'm
back
sorry.
to
I
that
wasn't trying to
theater,
say that
all
it
you
was a
would...
bad movie. I just feel like you got the best possible theater experience for it.
Yeah, no, it was
Well,
a very
here's the
weird
thing,
theater
though.
experience, and then I watched Blade Runner 2049 and had a great time, so I left happy.
Deep down in my soul, I have just inkling that if you tried to go back to that theater, all you would find is like an empty field.
Josh, you may have encountered an SCP.
I might have.
I don't know how you feel about that, but
I don't know how I feel about that. You got SCP all over your shoes, and then you came into my apartment.
I think you might have still been living with your parents when this happened.
oh, problem
I
solved.
don't know when did
It's their
Blade Runner,
problem.
when did Blade Runner 2049 come out?
It was a couple years ago.
I want to say like 2017 sometime. It's a shame that movie didn't make any money, because it is a really good movie.
I think
But
I lived
now-
in my first apartment.
It makes me even more upset that it made like no money, because fucking Danny Villeneuve, or however the fuck you pronounce his name, wanted
Dennis
Harrison Ford's-
Villeneuve.
Yes, Dennis
Venus
Villeneuve.
flytrap.
Exactly.
He wanted Harrison Ford's inclusion to be a complete and total secret, which I guess spoilers, by the way. Fuck you if you haven't seen Blade Runner, I guess. He wanted his inclusion to be a complete and total secret, which would have made the movie so much more impactful when he shows up. But the Sony or whoever the fuck, Fox, was just like, no one's gonna.
Well, we've
come
got
see
it.
this
Yeah,
movie.
Harrison Ford has to have top billing. Yeah, it was October 6th, 2017.
Okay, then I should have been in my first apartment.
Maybe you
No.
were.
No,
Maybe I remembered it wrong. Oh well. Dennis is directing that Dune movie that I want to see now, though, so all's well that ends well.
Is that that's the original script that they're trying to do, right?
What do you mean?
Well, Hodorowski tried to make a Dune movie.
Yeah, no, that thing's dead. This is Denny Villeneuve's Dune. He wrote a new script for it.
Well, that's fine. I
Not
like-
Jodorowsky. That thing's dead.
Well, that's fine because I quite like what what Denis Villeneuve
Denny Villeneuve.
Denny Venezuela.
The Denny Spaghetti
Denny
Bowl
Venny.
makes good movies.
Denny Venny Spaghetti.
He does. Like I said, like 4 times in a row. Blade Runner 2049 is a very good movie.
What else does he have his name on? Because I know him from somewhere else.
Did he do Arrival or was that somebody else?
I think he did do Arrival, but I haven't seen.
I haven't seen Arrival. Yeah, but I've heard it's really good.
I remember there was a big marketing.
Yeah, Denny
push
Villeneuve.
because for the longest time, it had absolutely no negative reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, like whatsoever.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good, and I really want to see it. But every time I sit down to watch movies and I see it on my Amazon Prime, like, you should watch this next. I'm like, I'm gonna watch something else. I didn't sit down to watch Arrival tonight.
I'll just watch the same 36 movies that I've seen already. Thanks. Cheers.
Yeah,
Play it safe.
I will watch Ant-Man again.
That made me remember the year that Ant-Man and the Wasp came out, and Paul Rudd took his daughter out for trick-or-treating, and she was dressed up as the Wasp, and he was dressed up as fucking Weird Al.
Paul Rudd's a treasure. I love him. I'm so glad he got money from being in those movies.
What, in the Marvel movies? Or just in general?
Yes.
Just any film.
The Marvel movies. He deserves money.
You're just
Like, he got that Marvel money.
You know what? He was fucking... Paul Rudd was in Forgetting Sarah Marshall once. Cinema masterpiece. Give him all the Golden Globes, the Grammys, the Oscars, whatever.
Are we wrapping on that?
He played Kunu.
He did play Kunu. He slapped the bass. No, that wasn't Kunu. He wasn't slapping the bass. Slapping the bass was fuck, what was slapping the bass from? It was I Love You Man. Was slapping the bass.
Yeah. I got a good Paul Rudd line to end on. It's Kunu. Josh.
Oh, the weather outside is weather.
It's a good one. No, Josh, you look like you got some pain behind those eyes. You know what helps with pain?
What? Surfing?
Weed. You got any?
Weed. You got any? No.
I don't know.
Well, let's go surfing.
Yeah, let's go surfing. Go. Yeah, you know what? As much as I was just sitting on that movie, go watch Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Sarah Marshall. Subscribe to Paul Rudd's OnlyFans.
I would.
Right now. Do it.
I would. I have.
I just like to
Link
imagine
in the
Paul
description
Rudd's
to Paul Rudd's
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Or OnlyFans equivalent.
Paul Rudd's OnlyFans is just him, like, half in, half out of the Ant-Man suit, just like eating Captain Crunch while staring directly at the camera.
Rolling for probability of a Paul Rudd OnlyFans.
Nat 20.
You got a 10.
God damn it. There is no justice in this world.
Well, thanks everybody for listening. You can find us on YouTube at Practical Nonsense or wherever you get your podcasts at Practical Nonsense. And we hope that everyone had a great Thanksgiving, because this will come out after Thanksgiving. So we hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, and face forward, do not look back, because the end of the year is in sight. And maybe, God willing, whatever one you believe in, if all the planets align, even the ones that we haven't discovered yet, we can get out of this fucking mess. So, cross your fingers. Knees and toes. Knees and toes.
Oh, to answer your question, because I'm sure everyone at home was wondering, I was throwing crayons at my mic that whole time.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Do you just have like one of the 64 boxes with the sharpener in it, or like what? What's up? What's up with it? All right, solid. See you guys next time.
Okay, bye.
You tell me. Does it sound like I have the 64 pack? Hold on. How much more you want of these?
It sounds like you're asking to get kicked out of the podcast. I hope you weren't listening to this in your car.
Okay, goodbye.